So we start with the definition of rhombus. That a rhombus is a special kind of a parallelogram in which all the sides are equal. Now, in parallelogram, what was the definition of uh, a parallelogram? The definition of parallelogram was any quadrilateral in which the opposite sides are equal. In fact, parallel. In which any quadrilateral in which the opposite sides are parallel is called a parallelogram. Okay, so suppose this is your parallelogram, and this parallelogram, let's call it ABCD. Okay, this is our parallelogram. It is such that all the sides of this parallelogram are equal. All the four sides are equal to each other. Therefore, we will call this parallelogram a rhombus. It's a special parallelogram in which all the sides are equal. Okay, all the properties, all the five properties and its converts, whatever we had discussed on the parallelogram, all will hold under your rhombus. All the properties all the properties of a parallelogram hold for a rhombus as well. Okay, for a rhombus as well. Now, apart from the properties of parallelogram, the five properties of parallelogram, rhombus has some extra properties. Okay, so what are those properties? The first property is that the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's consider a rhombus. So given to you is a rhombus in this manner. Okay, given to you is a rhombus. Okay, and let's see, this rhombus is A, B, C, D, and the diagonals of this rhombus. Let's draw the diagonals of this rhombus. Okay, these are diagonals of this rhombus. AC and BD are the diagonals of the rhombus, or of this rhombus, ABCD. Then according to this property, that if ABCD is a rhombus, that is if I give you the fact that ABCD is a rhombus, then you can say that the diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. That is, you can conclude that OA is equal to OC, OD is equal to OB. Not only this, but also that these two are perpendicular to each other. This angle is 90 degree. Okay. So not only this, but not only that the diagonals are bisect each other as in parallelogram, but what you can also conclude is that they are perpendicular to each other. Now this is a little different from your parallelogram where the diagonals were not at 90 degree angles with each other. In parallelogram, the diagonals are not at 90 degree angles, but in case of a rhombus, the diagonals are at 90 degree angles. Okay, so this is what this property means. Okay, so given a rhombus, I can see that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other and also they bisect each other. Or in short, you can say that the diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Next, the property 2. The diagonals bisect the angles of the rhombus. What does it mean, the diagonals bisect the angles of the rhombus? Now, the interior angles of the rhombus. Diagonals bisect the angles of the rhombus means they bisect the interior angles of the rhombus. So what are the interior angles of the rhombus? Suppose let us consider this diagonal EC. Now this diagonal AC is associated with what angles, interior angles of this rhombus? Angle A and angle C. So therefore this diagonal AC will bisect this angle such that these two angles are equal. Okay. If this angle will be X, this angle will be X. Okay. Similarly, this angle is Y and this angle will be Y. This is what the property means. Also, diagonal BD. What are the angles associated with the diagonal BD? The angles associated with the diagonal BD are angle B and angle D. So therefore, this is these two are our angles. They will be equal because BD is the bisector of angle D, and these two angles will also be equal. Okay, because BD bisects angle B. Okay, so these are the two properties of the rhombus apart from all the five properties of the parallelogram, which also hold good for a rhombus. Any questions here?
No, sir.
Okay, let us now start rectangles. What is a rectangle? A rectangle is also a parallelogram. It is a special case of a parallelogram. But what kind of a parallelogram? It is a special parallelogram in which one interior angle is 90 degree. One interior angle is a right angle. Okay, so it is a parallelogram. Is a rectangle is a parallelogram. See, this is our parallelogram ABCD. What is a parallelogram? In which two opposite sides are parallel. So this is a parallelogram, and such that one interior angle is given. Any one interior angle is given to be 90 degree. Then I can say it is a rectangle by definition. By definition. Okay. Given a parallelogram in which you know one angle is 90 degree, then you can say it is a rectangle. Now you will say, what about the other angles? But we have read that the other angles are also 90 degree of the rectangle. Yes, the other angles are also 90 degree, but that is according to the property, not according to the definition. Okay. Now, according to the property, if you see, this is a little inverted here. If you see, read this property, each interior angle of a rectangle is a right angle. This means that according to the property, not by the definition, I can say that any rectangle ABCD ABCD, according to this property, you will have all the angles 90 degree. And the question is, why are we deriving this from the property? Why are we getting this from the property? Because see, if you go to the definition, see what happens. This is a parallelogram in which one angle is 90 degree, right? So all the properties of the parallelogram hold in case of this ABCD also. Okay, because it is a parallelogram. So what happens? You know that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal, right? So if this angle is 90 degree, if this angle is 90 degree, then this angle will also be 90 degree, right? Because the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. Also, this angle is equal to this angle, right? Because the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So say this is y and say this is y. So what happens? Since this is a quadrilateral, sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. So we add up y plus 90 plus 90 must be equal to 360. Sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. You solve for y, you get y equal to 90 degree. So that is why this angle is also 90 degree. This angle is also 90 degree. Okay. So that is why, according to the property, not by definition, It is sufficient if you can show that in a parallelogram one angle is 90 degree, you can say it is a rectangle. But if you come to the properties, then from the properties you can say that all the interior angles of a rectangle is 90 degree. Okay, and the next important property is that the diagonals of a rectangle are equal to each other, equal in length. The diagonals of a rectangle are equal in length. Remember that in case of a parallelogram, diagonals are not equal in length. In case of a rhombus also, the diagonals are not equal in length. Okay, only in the case of a rectangle, the diagonals are equal in length. So if you have ABCD as your rectangle, let us draw the diagonals. Okay, these are the diagonals. Then the length of the diagonals, according to this property, AC is the length of this diagonal and BD is the length of the other diagonal. These two diagonals must be equal in length. This is what the property means. And obviously, what you can conclude from this property, remember what you can conclude that ABCD, there is a small thing that I want you to note here. Not exactly a property, but what you can note here is that the diagonals are equal in length. AC is equal to BD. Also, if I call the point of intersection of the diagonals as O, then you know that in a parallelogram, the diagonals bisect each other. That means these two lengths must be equal, and also these two lengths must be equal, right? So that means AC, this and AC can be written as 2 into OA, right? This entire length AC is twice of this length, right? Because uh, O is the middle point of AC. Also, BD in this diagonal is nothing but double of this length, right? Or you can say double of this length also. You can write this as twice of OB. That means OA is equal to OB. So what you see here is that all these are equal. In case of a rectangle, all these lengths are equal. Let me mark with a red. All these lengths are equal. This length, this length, this length, this length. Very important thing to notice. I think I had worked out back in class 8. I remember working out a sum also based on uh, this uh, this derivation that I have done. So remember, in case of a parallelogram, this triangle here is an isosceles triangle. This triangle is an isosceles triangle. Okay, this triangle is an isosceles triangle. Similarly, this one is also an isosceles triangle. Okay, so you have four isosceles triangles within a rectangle. Okay, any question here?
No, sir.
Fine, let us discuss the properties of a square. Now, what is a square? A square is also a parallelogram. But what kind of a parallelogram? It is such a parallelogram in which the interior angles are right angles. Not interior angles. It is it is a square. It is a parallelogram in which all the sides are equal. Okay, and one interior angle is a right angle. So if I give you, okay, and call this ABCD, this is a parallelogram. I have given you a parallelogram, okay, which might look like a square, but it is not a square. Okay, so ABCD is a parallelogram such that all the sides of the parallelogram are equal. Okay, And apart from all the sides being equal, one angle is 90 degree. Then you can say that that parallelogram is a square. Okay, remember the definition. Definitions are very important. If you remember the definitions, you'll be able to work out the problems also. So what is a parallelogram? Parallelogram is a basic figure on which all the figures are built. Okay, the parallelogram, what is a square? A square is a special kind of a parallelogram in which all the sides are equal and one interior angle is a right angle. Let us come to the properties of a square. First property, that each interior angle of a square is a right angle. That is, you can show with the help of properties of parallelogram that not only one interior angle, but in fact all the interior angles of a square are 90 degree. Okay, so all we know all this. We know this property very well. The next property is that the diagonals of a square are equal in length. Just as in the case of a rectangle, given a square, in the square, the diagonals are of equal length. So this diagonal EC is equal to this diagonal BD. Okay. And so in a square, the diagonals are equal in length, just as in case of a rectangle. AC is equal to BD. This is your second property. Remember. The third property here is that the diagonals of a square are perpendicular bisectors of each other. This property looks the same as your properties of a rhombus. Okay, that the diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So if I have these two as our diagonals, then according to this property, I can say that perpendicular bisectors of each other. That means this one first will be 90 degree. Okay, in case of a square, this angle will be 90 degree. Not only that, but all these will be equal. This will be equal to this because the diagonals bisect each other, and these two will also be equal. Now again, the logic of rectangle works. Because the diagonals are equal in length, therefore all these lengths will be equal. That is, this length, this length, this length, and this length. OA, OB, OC, and OD, all these will be equal. So what you see is that even inside a square, you have this as your isosceles triangle, this as your isosceles triangle. Okay, this triangle is also isosceles, and this triangle is also isosceles. So again, in a square also, you have four isosceles triangle inside it. Okay. So this was your third property. And the fourth property is that the diagonals of a square bisect the interior angles of the square. Now, what does this mean? Just as in case of our rhombus, we had the the diagonal bisecting the interior angles. In case of a square also, we have the same property that the diagonals bisect the interior angles of the square. So this is our square. If I join this, and if I join this, okay, these two are the diagonals. They will bisect the interior angles. That is, these two angles must be equal. Okay, so let's say these two are equal. These two angles must be equal. Okay. Also, you can say these two angles will be equal. Also, you can say these two angles will be equal. Okay, in case of a square. But the interesting thing here is, if you notice, that all these angles are not only equal, the x angle, the y angle, the z angles, and the w angles. they are not only equal, but what you must also see is this entire angle is 90 degree. But in case of a rhombus, the interior angles were not 90 degree. But in case of a square, we know that the angles are 90 degree from property 1. So therefore, what I can say is that this angle must be 45 degree. This angle must be 45 degree. Only in the case of a square you can say this. This angle is 45 degree. This angle is 45 degree. This angle is 45. This is 45. And similarly, this must be 45 and this must be 45. Okay. Any question with this property? You must see the difference between this property and the property in case of a rhombus. In case of a rhombus, this property was there, that the diagonals bisect the interior angles. But in case of a rhombus, we did not have this angle, all the four angles to be 90 degree. We did not have this. So that is why x becomes 45, y becomes 45, z and w also become 45 each. Okay, fine. So I think this is what. Okay, and finally we come to kites or diamonds. So parallelogram is over. The parallelogram and the three special cases of a parallelogram: rhombus, rectangle, and square. These are over. In fact, these are the important figures that you will come across. Kite you will not come across too frequently. Okay, neither will you come across a trapezium frequently. All these four figures that I have discussed: parallelogram, rhombus, rectangles, and square. In all the problems, you will come across these. Uh, Kite may be one or two problems, trapezium also one or two problems, but not more than that. Okay, so let us discuss the properties of a kite. Now, what is a kite? Let me draw a kite first. This is a quadrilateral. Okay, say ABCD. Okay, the definition of a kite: any quadrilateral in which the adjacent sides are equal. Adjacent, you know the difference between adjacent and opposite? You know the difference between adjacent and opposite? For example, in this, these two are
Yes,
the
sir.
opposite sides, AB and DC. These two are the opposite sides. Okay, BC and AD. These two are the opposite sides. But when I'm talking about adjacent,
So AB and AD.
yes, AB and AD. When I talk about adjacent sides, then I say that adjacent, what does in English, what does adjacent mean?
So side by side.
Neighbors, side by side, yes, neighbors, side by side. So therefore, in a kite is a special kind of a quadrilateral in which the opposite sides are equal, in which the adjacent sides are equal. So these two are your adjacent sides. The one that I have marked with red, these two are the adjacent side or the neighboring sides, or the side lying just beside it. Okay, AB and AD. These two are the adjacent sides. Also, the other two adjacent sides are this side and this side. These two are also the adjacent sides. If these two adjacent sides are equal, then we say that this uh, quadrilateral is a kite or a diamond. Okay, so any quadrilateral in which the adjacent sides are equal is called a kite or a diamond. The kite or diamond also possesses some properties. The first and the most important property, very important property, which if you remember this property, you can do the next property also. That property is that if we join this diagonal, now why this diagonal? Now what is this diagonal called? Now suppose if I take um, see that A is the vertex associated with this vertex A is associated with these two equal sides. See AB and AD. These two equal sides meet at the vertex A. Also, these two equal sides, the blue equal sides, these two equal sides, they meet at what vertex? They meet at the vertex
C.
C. So what I do is I join them, these two vertices, and it forms a diagonal. So this forms a diagonal. AC forms a diagonal, okay, of this kite. Now what is diagonal? This is a special diagonal. Now what this diagonal does is that this is our property 1. Okay, what this diagonal does is that it divides the this kite into two congruent triangles. These two are congruent triangles. How can you say they are congruent
So
triangles?
RHS.
Yes, RHS.
No.
Okay, RHS. Wait, how RHS?
So side.
SSS. Side.
SSS, side.
Okay, so by your um, uh, SSS, you can show that these two are congruent triangles. Okay, this forms our first property and a very important property. That in a kite, the diagonal joining the vertices of the equal sides. Vertices of the equal sides means A is the vertex associated with the equal sides. C is the vertex associated with the equal side. The diagonal joining the vertices of the equal sides divides the kite into two congruent triangles. So this triangle is congruent to this. Very important property. So this was our first property. The next property is that the next property here is that the diagonal joining the vertices of the equal sides bisects the interior angles. Now what does it mean? It means that this diagonal ED that joins the vertices of the equal sides, this bisects this. That is, this angle must be equal to this angle. These two angles are equal.
So we can write that through CPCT also, no?
Yes, that is what I mean to say is that these two are equal because by CPCT I can say that these two are equal. Okay. Also, by CPCT, in fact property two here is nothing but CPCT. Okay, it comes from property one only. Also, what I can say is that these two angles are equal. This also comes from CPCT. These two angles must be equal. That is, this angle is Z, and this angle also must be Z. So remember, you can remember it in this sense also that the longer diagonal in the case of this, although it looks longer, okay, the longer diagonal bisects the interior angles. You can remember it this way also. Okay, and finally, this was our second property, and now we come to the third property. According to this third property, the diagonal, if you join the other diagonal also, the other diagonal will be this BD. This diagonal BD, okay, is bisected, or in fact the longer diagonal, this diagonal, the diagonal that is associated with this diagonal, okay, what it does is that this becomes the perpendicular bisector of the diagonal BD. That is, when you see the longer diagonal, you see the longer diagonal. The longer diagonal is the perpendicular bisector of the shorter diagonal. So this is 90-degree, and these two are equal. Okay, and remember that this is not equal to this. These two are not equal. Okay, but these two are equal. Let us, if I call this point as O, then my OB must be equal to OD. That is what this property states. Okay, so you can remember it in this manner, that the longer diagonal is the perpendicular bisector of the shorter diagonal. Fine. So this completes our